Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Inspiration Night Live. This is an exclusive private event for our Hawaii Ink stamping team. I was going to stumble on all those words. Give me a second to turn my iPad on so I can catch your comments. Give me 1 second because I know there's a delay between when I speak and when you actually see it. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. I see that Megan has popped on, and I do want to make sure that I mention to you that Megan is part of our team, and she is not here to moderate tonight. She is here to have fun with the rest of us. So I'd ask that you please, if you have questions, you can pose them here and we can answer them for each other. Or, of course, I can catch them for you because I'm your moderator tonight. Okay. So let me just reach over and skip those ads so we can go ahead and see what's going on here. I hope you guys caught some of that. If not, I'm going to go over it again. For those of you watching the replay, so sorry about that. Just want to make sure that you guys know that Megan is a part of our team. She is not here to moderate tonight. She's here for the fun. So please, if you have questions, you can go ahead and type them in the comments. Help each other, or I'll try to catch those for you. And you know the best way to reach me is by email. So that's lisa@lisastampstudio.com and pose your question there. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to everyone. It's so good to see so many of you with us. Before we get started tonight, first and foremost, this is a private YouTube event, which means you may not share this link with anyone else. I can tell if you do. Yeah. So have our backs, please. We share information here that is not allowed to be shared with people that are not demonstrators. So very, very important that you do not share this link with anyone else. This is an exclusive Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Hawaii Ink team YouTube Live. So thank you for that. Secondly, we have two birthdays in the house, and they are both here with us tonight, which is really, really special. They chose to share it with us. Happy birthday to Marion Lenhart and to Carol Gibson. So happy that you guys are here to share it with us. Congratulations and happy birthday. I wish I was more prepared. I would have had a cupcake or something. So sorry, friends. Happy birthday to you. I am celebrating Bob the Builder's birthday tomorrow. He is turning a very young age of 59 years old. He's just a puppy. I am the older of the two. And tomorrow is also a very big day for Bob the Builder because not only is it his 59th birthday, but it's also his official retirement date. He is done. He is collecting several pensions of all of his own accord. He served in the military, the U.S. Air Force, for 23 years and then also worked as a government employee for many more years after that. So he is ready to just kick back and guess what? Work for Lisa Stamp Studio. So we've already put him to work. He's going to help with our IT stuff, and he's helping already to work with some spreadsheets and some other stuff. So we're just so glad to have him. He's just ready to kick back and collect his pension. So we're thrilled for him. So this is a big weekend for us here at Lisa Stamp Studio. We are going to be celebrating him all weekend long. We've got some fun things in store for both tomorrow and Saturday to celebrate his retirement and his birthday. So yay! So this is a big birthday month, and I see there are other people here with birthdays as well. I didn't catch who they were, but I know that you are celebrating as well. So happy birthday to all of our March people. All right. If this is your very, very first time on a Team Inspiration Night Live, would you go ahead and type in the comments, my first time, or I'm a first timer, or I just joined? We want to welcome you appropriately. We know this is brand new for you, and we want to give you a couple heads up about what Inspiration Night is all about. First and foremost, this is super duper casual. It is going to be like me talking to you as if you were right here. That's what this is all about. Oh, hi, Cece. First time for Judy and Cece. I'm doing the bifocal thing. I should just really look over there. It would be so much easier. Welcome to both of you. Love the first timers. We are just so excited that you guys are here and joined our team. Also, first timers for all I see is D. Ryan, so I don't have a first name, so bear with me. Congratulations to both of you on joining the Stampin' Up! Family and being part of the Hawaii Ink team. First timer 2 for Elizabeth. Oh, D is for Donna. Thank you, Donna Ryan. I appreciate that. I wanted to take that guess, but I was afraid. Lisa Delane, I want to say, is that how you say it? Delane, Dahlen. It's so pretty. I don't want to mess it up. Carol, look at all these first timers. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so much fun. Oh, wow. And Chris is first time. Oh, this is so thrilling. Okay, so remember, first timers, very, very casual atmosphere. You are in a very small group of just our Hawaiian ink stamping team. So let your hair down, chat a little bit, get to know your other teammates, and please know I'm going to speak to you as if you were right here. Very informal, not at all polished and fancy, fancy, schmancy like the YouTube lives that I do on the public side. I am prepared and we are going to stamp, but I'm going to talk to you as if you were my stamping friends and not customers because that's exactly what you are. All right. The other thing is remember, private event, you may not share the link. Additionally, we give away prize patrol during Live with Lisa and also Inspiration Night. I almost forgot which live I was doing. Inspiration Night, we do 20 prize patrols. It's huge. They're all stacked up over there. They are packaged up and ready to go simply so that I can go over to the mail meter when this is all finished and type the winners' names on labels and get those out for tomorrow's mail. And just so that you know, it doesn't matter if you were here for the live watching the replay or if you haven't watched at all. Everybody who's on our team as of yesterday is automatically entered into the prize patrol. And that's what this is. This is our prize tin. Google took all those names and randomly picked 20 winners. So it's not my fault. You can blame Google. Those 20 names are in here. I do know who the names are, but of course, I have no idea what prize you're getting. So I'm going to be just as surprised as you are. I always like to start the night off by doing prize patrol. So let's go ahead and start with that. I'm going to mix these up and I'm going to set that here. It's going to be a little squeaky on the granite. That's all I'm going to tell you. Hi, Patty. It's good to see you guys. All right, I'm mixing you up so it's nice and fair. All right, I've got one. First, let's see what we're giving away. All right, I have got, look, it's all packaged, ready to go. This is the Playing with Patterns Designer Series paper and the Playing with Patterns Coordinating Ribbon Combo. All in here, all ready to go. The winner is, drum roll, it is Shelly Johnson. Congratulations to you, Shelly. You are a winner. You're going to hear me reach over for my Scotch tape because this is the only way that Lisa can keep track effectively who gets what, okay? And then I'm going to lean down because I got this new handy dandy little cart right next to me. And I just put everything in there. It makes it so easy and I can just wheel it out to the little mail station. I used to put them on the island here in the middle of the studio, and about halfway through, they would all start sliding off. So this is much more effective, except for you get a nice headshot, okay? Let's do another one. I have in here real red ink pad and refill, Whisper white crinkled seam binding ribbon, a C block, and a package of wonderful gems. Okay, let's see who this is going to. I gotta mix this up. And this is going to Donna Straub. Congratulations to you, Donna. I thought I saw her here live with us. I think she's here. Donna, chime in if you're still here with us. Congratulations, Donna. I'm going to get this in the mail to you. All right, reaching down there again. All right, as a reminder about Prize Patrol, it is a gift, my friends. You may not return it. You may not exchange it. If you do not want it, you do not like it, pay it forward to a stamping friend, or you could certainly donate it to a worthy cause. So that's how Prize Patrol works. Okay, let's keep going. I got lots and lots to give away. Inside here, I have Whale of a Time sequin assortment. I have a mint macaron ink pad and refill. I have the decorative pattern masks, and I have a package of sponge daubers. Okay, I'm mixing up that squeaky tin. And oh yeah, you are here, Donna. Congratulations to you. You were a winner. And this is going to Julie Wascom. Congratulations to you, Julie. You are our next winner. There's that Scotch tape sound. You'll get used to that all night long. Congratulations to you, Julie. Super, super excited for you. It's always fun when they're here with us live too, isn't it? And they win. I don't know about you. I always say if it's free, it's for me. All right, let's keep going. In this large envelope, we have a package of foam adhesive strips. All I'm going to tell you right now, don't miss Monday's YouTube Live when I'm going to be public on my channel. I got a use for these you're going to love. Champagne shimmer paint, the spritzers, and a B block. And let's see who this is going to. I'm mixing it up. And the winner for this one is, drum roll, Wanda Davis. Congratulations to you, Wanda. You are a winner. Yay, Wanda. You know, it's so funny, Mike, when we're done with these lives, my husband always says to me, it's so funny to listen to you in their party by yourself because it's a one-way conversation, right? All right. How many is that? I think that's 4. Let's go ahead and let's do one more. I've got a stamp set here for the next one. I think this is well overlooked in the catalog and it's really, really fun and witty. It's called Senior Years. I know you're going to enjoy it. This is going to go to, make sure you don't stick together here. This is going to Sue McFarland. Congratulations, Sue. You're a winner. Yay. I'll get your stamp set in the mail to you tomorrow. And we've got Sue all taped up and ready to go. Okay, I'm bending over all the way down here. Okay. Yay. I'm going to get my exercise. This is going to be a good thing. All right. I'm going to close up the prize tin so we don't lose anybody. I'm going to set that back on my little handy dandy cart. And what do you guys say we get stamping? How's that sound? All right. Let me turn the camera down, get you all focused in, and we'll get going. All right. Here we go. Okay. I got to straighten you out. Bear with me. I know it's going to have to focus too, so give it a second. I know it's going to be out of focus. One thing about these cameras is it does require a few minutes to focus when we turn it, so bear with me here. That should be a little bit better. Are we good? I'm looking on my iPad to make sure. Let me turn you this way just a little bit. I have got to find a more foolproof way for this thing. All right, I think we're good. All right, let's get busy. I'm going to start with a piece of white cardstock. And this is the brick and mortar embossing folder. If you haven't gotten this, this truly is one of my favorites. You know why? Because it's good for everything. Great for masculine cards, great for all types of occasions. It's just a wonderful background. We've got so many stamps this is going to work wonderfully on, and I'm going to use it with something new tonight. So I went ahead and I placed this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I do want to let you know what this is for because I'm going to get questions about this. Whenever I have one of the new 3D embossing folders, you're going to see how nice and thick this is. I know I need to use the specialty plate for the 3D embossing folder. Okay, so if you haven't gotten that, you're going to want to add that to your wish list if you have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You're not going to use the clear mats for your machine. You're actually going to use just this in its place. So on the basic platform, you'll lay your cardstock and your die, you'll put this over the top, and you'll crank it through. This is color coordination because when my daughter comes to stamp with me, there's no guesswork. Or even then, you know, outside of COVID, when I used to have a friend come over, that's what this is for. Just if it's got a sticker, it means you need the 3D plate. So that's just a little cheat mechanism here that we use in the studio. All right, so I went ahead and I ran that through the machine before you joined me. I'm not going to bore you with all that. You guys know how to emboss. And that left us with this. This is what we're going to do most of the work on. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do some shading. And I've got the crumb cake ink here. So let's go ahead and open that. I'm going to set that off to the side. And then I'm going to grab my blending brush. Did you guys get these? I love them. I have oodles of them. And I labeled them for each color family. So this one is for the browns. I've got one for reds, pinks, purples, yellows, oranges, greens, the whole bit. I don't wash them. I found that if I wash them, I don't get all the pigmentation out and I don't trust myself. So I just leave this one designated for the browns. I want to show you this too. Doesn't it look like it turned a little bit of purple? The interesting part of dye-based ink pads is there's lots of pigmentation in here, especially as the dark colors are prevalent. So there's underlying shades of other colors in here that create the shade that you're using. So don't let that freak you out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swirl this in my ink pad. And I like to hold it by the head because I have arthritic fingers. Got my ink going there. I also love to rub it on my scratch surface. I know I'm a little bit out of probably close to your camera view. I don't want this too dark, and that's going to ensure I'm able to control the coverage. Oh, you guys love the brushes. You don't wash them either. Good. That's good to know. I appreciate knowing that. I didn't want this everywhere. So I just did a little bit here, and I'm going to work on the diagonal. Don't be afraid to experiment. I think one of the hardest things for us as stampers is to try something new because we think, oh, if it doesn't work out, it's going to look bad and I got to start all over again. Friends, can I let you in on a little secret? I'm working on a video right now. Yes, it's actually going to be a YouTube premiere. So it's going to be a recorded video. I have a special guest with me for April 21st. My daughter, Gina Hawley, designed a fun fold card. And I decided we're going to do a version of hers and mine. And that's going to be debuting on YouTube on April 21st. I actually made my version of her fun fold like 5 times and I was so frustrated. So I get it. I get that maybe you don't want to have to do it over and over again. But don't be frustrated. Remember, this is paper. And oftentimes I find too, even my oopses, I put them aside and I put them in a little basket. I ended up going through there and delving through there to make other cards. All right, so I've got my little background here. I gave myself just a little area here for which we've got some color and some shading. Again, I'm not going to wash that. I'm going to set that off to the side. The next thing I did was I used some designer series paper from the entire product medley that I'm featuring tonight. And the product medley is Flowering Cactus. Now, it comes with the dies, it comes with the stamp, and oh, squeal, it comes with this as well. You're going to get a dual pack here of linen threads. You've got the Calypso and the regular. And I'm going to take all this out because, you guys, this is the bomb. I saw it in the catalog when Gina had gotten her eye on it, and I thought, I don't know, is this really me? I am having the best time with this. For the money, you cannot beat this. So what you're going to do is you're going to get an entire package of designer series papers here. You can see I've chopped them all up. And I love that the other side is really conducive to use all year round. And I like that some of those patterns are really more masculine because that's cards I struggle with. But look at this. But there's something else in here. Check these out. Do you know that these match the dies? So if you're in a big hurry, you don't even have to stamp with a stamp set if you don't want to. So you get the designer paper. Like I said, you're going to get this, and you also get these. These are little felt embellishments. They come both in Calypso and in the purple. They're already die cut. All you got to do is pop them out. We're going to use them on this card tonight, but I want to share this with you. Look how many are in here. I don't even think that you could use them all, seriously. I am having so much fun with this product medley, and I think you will too. And it's called Flowering Cactus, and you're going to find it in the front of the mini catalog. All right. I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of a background, even though that I was using this. And I didn't find the background die in here that I really wanted, although there were some fun things. So I gravitated to another die set. And I want to show you this. This is called the Happy Dies. And I also think this is one that's overlooked in the catalog. There is a whole string of streamers in here. And I used the designer series paper to die cut myself one from two different colors. So I've got the Calypso Coral and I've got the Highland Heather here. I really wanted to do this before you joined me, but I had to have the paper blended. So guess what we get to do today? We get to glue together. I know, it's like watching glue dry, but I figured I'm with my friends, so this is going to work. Silicone craft sheet is really a fantastic accessory when you're stamping because it's going to keep the adhesive and glue off of your work surface. If you're like me and you get a little excited when you're stamping and paper crafting, you're going to fight that sticky spot the entire time, and this eliminates that. When the glue dries, it just turns opaque and you just rub it right off. And look at the slick gift I just got in the mail. One of my customers sent this to me. Her name is Charlene. And she just said, I just want you to know how much I've been loving your videos. I know you hate liquid glue because you're too messy with it, which is a very true statement. I wanted to give this to you so you can always store it upside down. Oh my gosh, squeal. I bought like a bunch of these because I want to give them as gifts to some friends. Love that. So, so fun. I am going to attempt, while you are watching me, to make this really, really cute. All right, are we ready? I'm going to add my liquid glue here. I always get my liquid glue started before I go bazonkers because it never fails. If I don't, I get a big old clump. This glue is extremely strong, so you don't need to put it everywhere, and you don't need to use very, very much. That's probably too much. So I'm just going to do like every couple because you're all watching me, and I don't know about you, but I always feel like watching glue dry is just never fun, right? Am I the only person who thinks that? All right, I'm going to leave that there. And I'm working on that silicone craft sheet on purpose. And then let's go ahead and just add some party streamers up here across the top. Let those sit and dry, and let's work on this next strand. And then this one, we're going to work in another direction. So let's flip those over. A couple little dots right here. Again, I'm going to get it started. Sometimes what I do is I actually make a little puddle here, and I just use the tip of my glue to kind of pick up that puddle. Again, I'm just kind of skipping around because you don't need to put it everywhere. It's very strong. All right, so I'm going to come up over here like so, and then we're going to tack that down. All right, this is why I don't use liquid glue, friends. I don't have the patience for it. I'm an adhesive girl from the word go. I keep a pair of scissors in my studio that have a ribbon on them. This means that I can use them safely in adhesive without gunking up my good ones. These are an old pair of scissors. So if I get adhesive on these, I can go ahead and clean those with my Goo Gone. All right, someone says, where did you find the liquid glue holder? Well, guess, good news. I just got approved to do Amazon affiliates, and I'm going to have these on my website very soon. But I did find it on, she did find it on Amazon. I asked her if you guys want to go and check that out. I'm going to flip this over. Best advice for you is to always cut from the back so that you can use the edges of your cardstock as a guide to cut away what you don't need. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm probably working a little bit faster than I normally would. I don't think I'm going to use any more of that purple, but I think what I might do is I might come in here with this one, and let's see, will that fit? Should we put it up here? I don't know. You know what? That's good enough. You guys get the idea. You can always do more. And you know what? If yours aren't really sticky, go ahead and save those for another project. That's just another great tip for you. All right, so let's go ahead and start building our little scene here. Let me put my glue back in its little holder. Joann's Simple Paper Crafts. There are a bunch of these glue holders at the Etsy shop. Oh, good to know, Megan. All right. And I'm going to let that dry. And now we're going to work on some images. So I've got a piece of scrap white cardstock here. And I want to use one of the cactuses from that stamp set. So I pulled one out and I've mounted it here. They are photopolymer. I'm a huge photopolymer fan. Anybody else like 3 cheers for photopolymers? You can see where you're going. I love it. I'm going to be using 2 colors, Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. I am going to teach you the rock and roll technique. If you don't know it, great. And if you do, this is probably where you can go get something to drink. The reason I love this technique is for images like this where you want some shading, but you don't want to go through all the trouble of using your markers, which you could use directly on your stamp. Not your alcohol-based markers. I'm talking your dye-based markers. Alcohol markers will ruin your stamps. Never put them on there, okay? You can stamp off and make them lighter, which is, yes and no, what you can do. So I'm going to open them both. I've got Old Olive and I've got the Mossy Meadow. They're going to be just up outside of your camera view here. I'm going to ink up the Old Olive, and this is a pretty juicy pad. So I'm going to stamp off over here in my scratch paper. And then watch, you are going to rock and you're going to roll. How much you put on there and where you put it is up to you. Watch, you're going to be able to see it as soon as I stamp. And look, oh, it's so cute. The great thing about this is that no two are alike. Make sure you clean your stamp. My scrub is right off camera. And let me show you what else you can do. Let's go full strength this time. And then let's rock and roll a little bit more. I'm going to flip this over just so you can see how no two are exactly alike. I actually like the darker on the darker versus the stamping off. I think it blends a little bit better, don't you think? All right, so that's the rock and roll technique. Take yourself some scratch paper, give it a whirl. This way you can try and you can experiment. Now remember, there are coordinating dies for this. So you can actually die cut this and not fussy cut anything. Look at there. There we go. We got the die. So I did that ahead of time just to save us some time, which left me with this. Okay. We're going to start building here. The other die that's inside of here is this. You see this cactus image? I love this because not only does it die cut the silhouette, it actually embosses those little prickly lines and all that fun stuff that's in between. And I actually chose to do that on a piece of designer series paper. I wish you were here to see this and feel this. Look at the backside. It is so much fun. And that made that really quick and easy for me. So I've got a couple elements. But you can tell this is, it's got to go in something. At least I decided it did. So I'm going to grab myself a piece of scrap white paper here, and I'm going to move over to another image. And you know what? I forgot the stamp set, so I'll be right back. The good thing is I got my AirPods in. I told you this was going to be really formal, and it is Jar of Flowers. How many of you bought this? This was quite popular when it first came out. Oh, you've never seen that technique before, Tina? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I showed it then. I just always think everybody knows everything. Inside here, I keep all my oopses, hoping someday that I can use them. I'm going to take out this little lower portion of the jar. You're going to see it here as well as the big one. This is intended to fill this like with water halfway or fill it with water all the way. These are reversible stamps. Now, a lot of you have told me I didn't know that. So we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to mount it here. This is the raised side. We're going to use the Cajun Craze. And I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp that right here. All right. So far, so good. You see where I'm kind of going with this. I want this to look like a terracotta pot. I'm going to take this off. Your block has to be dry. So I'm headed over to my scrub. And you are going to flip it over, which means the raised edges now are going to be down. This is the flat, the silhouette side of that stamp. This is meant to do this. This is a reversible stamp. You are going to ink it up. Look at it, solid. We are going to stamp that off. Let's see, once, how many times do I want to do it? Let's try it a couple times, and we can always make another one, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, look, I had a little piece of lint or something on there. That's okay. You know what? I always say if a card isn't perfect, I'm going to send it to my mother because she loves everything I do. I don't know. I think that's a mom thing. There is a coordinating punch to the jar of flowers. It's the jar punch. This also will punch this out. We only need the bottom portion. Oh, do you see? I got to cut this a little bit. This cardstock was just a little bit too deep for what I needed. It's not going to reach all the way in there. There we go. Now I can maneuver this down, and then I am going to punch. You are going to get the entire jar because obviously that's the whole pretext of the stamp. But don't let that freak you out. I'm going to go ahead and grab my paper snips, and I'm just going to kind of cut away what I don't want here. So I'm going to cut away the rim. If you didn't stamp perfectly like I did, and those little white lines are there, you can go ahead and trim it. This is the great thing about punches and dies. If you don't do it right, this is what I say. It's done 95% of the work for you. Just give it a haircut. That's a great tip for you too, because you know, often we cannot put our things inside the die cutting machine and the punch just perfectly. Is anybody else with me? All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and let's build this now. I am going to take this piece. Remember, we did our little banners on here. And let's take our cactus and let's put our cactus inside the pot. So come back to that silicone craft sheet because I can't live without it. I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to take my adhesive and I'm going to add that here. This is my Stampin' Seal Plus. You love this. You never thought of using the punch of the shorter jar. Awesome. Oh, you guys are making me feel really, really good. Okay. And then I'm going to put this like so. So how much you want showing is entirely up to you. So I'm going to do like this. If anything shows, just give it a haircut, you know? I'm just going to like make sure that my edges don't come out here because they do kind of. All right, so we've got that. Let's move this over now and let's go ahead and take that cactus. Remember that tall cactus here? I know there's a name for these. Anybody here live in one of those beautiful Western states that can tell me? Let's take some dimensionals. And then I'm going to add these up the middle. So I've got 1, 2, and 3. Now remember, this is die cut and embossed. So be very, very careful because this is designer series paper. It's not as strong as cardstock. I'm removing those backings. And then I'm going to position this where I want it. And I'm kind of thinking I want it right about here. That looks good. And then I'm going to take this piece. Okay, Carol's asking about the magnetic plate. Carol, no idea. I don't have any insight on that. Otherwise, I would tell you. Cece saying is, as a newbie, I recently got my first order. Why do some of the rubber stamps have a removable circle or oval in the middle? Oh, Cece, that's an easy answer. The reason is so that when you ink it up, you don't get ink inside the negative area where there shouldn't be ink. We had asked Stampin' Up! To implement that on those stamps, and they finally did. Love it. Because when they're a large image and it's supposed to maybe be a circle, if you inked it up and pressed too hard, you got ink in the middle. That transferred to your cardstock. So they added a negative now that can be taken out. All right, this is going to go on top of here, but I have a couple things I want to talk to you about. Remember, this is already up on dimensionals, so it's already elevated. If this is going to go on top of this, it's going to rock. I don't know if you can see that. So you're going to have to compensate for some dimensional work here. So I'm going to take 2 of these, and I'm going to make sure that I build up this side. So I'm going to use those straight edges to my advantage. Remember, this has already got a level of dimensionals on it. So to compensate that, you have to add another stack of dimensionals here, so it's going to be the same height. I bet you didn't know that or you didn't think about it, right? This side is going to fall right on top of that cactus. So I'm going to add adhesive on this side, just like this. So this side's actually going to stick to what's already there, and this side is going to be a little bit elevated. So everything looks like it's together. And there we go. We're going to attach those here. So there we go. You can see that it's all the same. Now we're going to add those slick little cute flowers. Let me bring back in that nemesis of mine. This is like kryptonite for me, friends. It really is. But you know what? Before we do that, Let's do this. I want to measure this and make sure I cut myself the right piece. Nope, I need to trim this down. Hold on. I told you this was going to be like you were with me. Yep, I actually stamped on the wrong piece of paper. How many of you have ever done that after you cut all your pieces? Well, that's all right. Let's talk about the trimmer. Anybody else got this fabulous product except for me? I love, love, love this thing. I cannot live without it. So I'm just cutting this down to 4 by 5 1/4 because I need a proper layer for this card. I messed up, remember? And now what we're going to do, you should see my floor when these lives are over. You guys would laugh. Card base is Calypso Coral. And, oh, you're welcome, Cece. Happy that I could help. This is going to get adhered here. I know some of you are probably thinking, more white? That's because Lisa's hand was being too excited. Hold on. There we go. Take your time, Lisa. The Stampin' Seal Plus is very, very strong, my friends, and it can rip your paper if you're not careful. Now that I know that that's showing, I'm going to be very careful right there. Okay, and then I'm going to add this here. I do love that adhesive for the strength, I do have to tell you. This layer now, I'm actually going to adhere with dimensionals, and I'm doing all that before I finish it so I don't have to mess with it. Oh, Denise loves the trimmer. So does Brenda and Elizabeth. I know it's an amazing, amazing product. I am going to be very generous with these dimensionals. I don't like that my cards may come out not looking like how I made them. So don't chintz on these. Make sure you balance your cards well. You'll be guaranteed not to be embarrassed when they come to the other side and they're not all wonky. There's nothing worse than a saggy card, which means you only put dimensionals on one part. Let's go ahead and we'll remove those backings. I see you guys chiming in about the trimmer. You love that trimmer. Years of other trimmers, and this one is the best. Hands down, Denise, I agree with you. And then this is going to get mirrored on here. And I know you're probably thinking, why white on white? I tried other colors. This looked the best. Now, my next step is to add my greeting, which I did here. Remember, we're going to have an elevation difference again. So behind here, I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive. And then here, we're going to stack 1 and then 2 dimensionals because it's going to fall on top of my pot. And then this is going to go on top of here, like so, across the bottom. So now the elevation for my greeting is nice and even. If I had stacked this side would sag over the height on this side. I hope that makes sense. All right, last thing, we have to use these. They're too stinking cute, aren't they? And you can see that they're embroidered. This one's got a little bit of a stray string. And that's common because of the machine that they use to do this. You have to add these with liquid glue, otherwise they will not stick. Ask me how I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my liquid glue right here to the back of my flower. Again, you don't have to go too crazy. And where's my take your pick tool? That's going to make my life a little easier so I can pick it up. And then this one I decided to put here on my cactus. Look at how cute this is. All right, and then this one, I'm going to add a little glue here to this one. I know, you know what? I do actually get this excited when I stamp. That's how much I love to stamp. I would rather do this than do anything. I do like to shop, but I literally like to stamp even more. And then this one I decided to put here at the top of my cactus. I'm going to glue that down. And of course, it's not going to stay because it needs to dry. And I've been moving it around. Okay, come on. You guys get the idea, right? Isn't this a cute card? I'm going to make sure I nail that on here so that it'll dry. I got glue in my fingers. This is why I don't like liquid glue. The stuff is really sticky. Oh, Elizabeth lives in Arizona and she loves the cactus. Oh my gosh, you have got to get this product medley. You will not be sorry. I promise you. Super, super duper cute. And I think it's a fantastic value for what you get. Now, I'm going to tell you in our April 1st team newsletter, you are going to get a compilation of tutorials for this product medley. You are going to get this card plus 3 others. So you'll get a total of 4 different cards, pictures, cutting dimensions, supplies, so that you can make your own cards. And keep in mind, if you don't have this, don't sweat it. Use those tutorials for color combinations and layout ideas and substitute the images with what you have. I want to know what you think about this. I'm really hoping that I've taught you just at least a couple things about the stamps, not just about the products, but about some of the things that you can do with the actual accessories that are here. All right, let me turn the camera around. I can read your comments and let's do more prize patrol. Here here we go. Okay, I'm back. What do you think? Okay, I get to read your comments. Okay, you like it. Mary likes it. Nice card. I see the big order being placed tomorrow. Oh, Cheryl, welcome to my world. Every time you guys make something on our team page and you share it, you cost me money. I know we enable each other, don't we? I'm reading Patty. I learned something new from you nearly every video. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm so glad. You know, every time I think you guys have seen it all and I show you something, someone says, I didn't know that. I'm like, oh, I guess it's because I have almost 23 years of stamping in my brain, and I just figured everybody knows everything. There you go. Well, great. So there we go. Flowering cactus is the name. Super cute. Very, very simple. All right. I'm going to move that off to the side and make room for Prize Patrol. All right. Got the prize tin here. Going to shake that up so we've got our names. This time I'm not going to put it on the countertop because it's very, very squeaky. And let me move all this stuff out of the way. I'm going to kind of clean up my mess. Let's see what we've got here. Well, look at that. I just happen to have the Happy Dies. I also put a package of pearls in there for you. Let's see who the Happy Dies and the pearls are going to. I'm mixing up your names and I'm putting out just one. And the winner is Tina Lowry. Congratulations to you, Tina. You are getting those dies and some pearls to make your own amazing cards. That's going in the mail to you. I'm bending down again. I'm getting my exercise. I swear this is going to constitute a piece of chocolate when I'm done because I will have earned it, right? All right, more prizes. In this, I have a package of subtle markers. It's the entire set of die-based markers, and that is going to go to, I know someone's thinking, how'd you get those? Those are on back order. I've had them. I ordered them for you guys last time. This is going to Barbara Shearlow. I think that's how you say it. Shearlow. Barbara, you are a winner. Congratulations to you, my friend. So excited for you. And I'm going to get those off to her tomorrow. Yay. Okay, let's do another one. This one has the decorative masks, silver embossing powder, daubers, and elegant gems. I'm a gem girl. If you guys haven't noticed, I love all the accessory things. And this one is going to Carolyn Cheryl. Congratulations, Carolyn. You are a winner. All right, more Scotch tape. I think I keep them in business and going off in the mail to her tomorrow as well. Let's do another one. Yeah, this one also happens to have something we just used. This has the brick and mortar embossing folder. It has the gold fine art ribbon, the gold hoops, beaded pearls, and opal rounds. Nice heavy package here. All right, and let's see who this one is going to. This one is going to, hold on, Jill Jolliffe. I think that's how Jill says her last name, Jolliffe. Jill, congratulations. You're a winner. I got that all taped on for her. There you go, Jill. Congratulations to you. And let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we could do one more. Let's do one more. This one has Playing with Patterns Designer Series paper and a package of pearls. We got more prizes. I'm just saying one more for right now. And this one is going to Nathalie Merks. Congratulations to you, Nathalie. You are a winner. And I'll get that off in the mail to her tomorrow. Oh, it's so fun to give stuff away. I'm telling you what, I love that part. The best part of all. All right, I'm reading your comments. You guys are congratulating each other. I love that. Team spirits. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, how about if we do this? I am going to turn the camera down. You're going to get to watch me clean up my hot mess and bring in the other stuff for the next demonstration. Sound okay? All right, here we go. Okay, the one thing I do like about YouTube is it remembers where I left off, so I don't have to rezoom you in. All right, let me switch my stuff around. There's a couple things I need to keep from the other one. I happen to be using the same color twice, go figure. And let me make some room here because I have a habit of like destroying things along the way. Let me move those stamps out of the way. Oh, wow. Did I even mount this? I guess I didn't need to. All right. Let's start with getting out some of my little supplies I need here. I actually am using sponge daubers for this. I know you only see my arms right now, but I label my sponge daubers because I don't like to clean them. So this allows me to be able to keep them from being washed and I can just use them over and over again. I didn't know if you know that you could do that, but you can. So I put a little label on them with the color. and I scotch tape it on if I think it's going to fall off. And then I just keep them in a little organizing box. So I've got one for every color. You can wash these with dish soap and water and then let them air dry, and then you can use them in other colors. The top will become stained from the pigmentation, but as long as it runs clean, you're good to go and use it in any color that you want. I just consider myself pretty avid stamper, and I like having separate ones for myself, all separate. All right, let me get the little supplies out of this envelope. I put them all in little cellophane bags, try to get as organized as I possibly can. And let's start with the card base on this card. This is 4¼ by 11. I am using crumb cake. I scored it before you joined me. Let's go ahead and score that here and crease that up. The score line is going to go on the left side. Intuitively, this card typically goes this way when it's cut this way, but I wanted to do something different. All right. I see Megan is answering a question for Holly that I missed. Bless you, Megan. Easiest way I know of is to go to the stamp. I'm trying to choose stamps, and then on the left side, techniques. Check. Okay. Thank you, Megan. I didn't catch the whole thing. I am actually going to start with a piece of designer series paper, and I want to show you the other side of this. So you're going to know exactly where this came from. This is from the entire suite with the seashells. It's Friends Are Like Seashells. So we've got the stamp set and the dies, which of course you're always going to buy a bundle. Don't trick yourself into thinking you're not going to need the dies or the stamps. I'll tell you, you will, I promise. And then there is the seashells embossing folder. I think it's either unorderable or on back order right now, and for very good reason, friends, because it is stinking amazing. Just wait. All right, so I've got the designer series paper from that same suite. And what I'm going to do with this is I want to rip it, but I don't want to rip it too far. So I'm going to put my thumb and index finger here as a guide. Remember, you can always rip more, but you can't put it back. And then I'm going to start here and tear towards me. Designer series paper is white as you tear, which is just a wonderful little bonus. And I'm going to go back and forth, keeping my fingers there so I know that I don't rip too far. I'm going to discard this. I know someone's going to freak out. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingernail and I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to kind of rough up this edge and I'm going to curl it. I want this to look very, very worn. That is the intention. Okay, Brenda said she bought the entire suite the minute it was available and the extra set of DSP. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. You know what? I love, of course, I'm a Florida girl, so, you know, the whole seashell thing caught my attention. But I was like, oh, I've got seashells. I've got ones from the annual catalog. Oh, these are way better. These are way better. All right. This is going to eventually go here. But I decided I wanted to add another piece of designer series paper from that suite, and that is going to go here. You see how cool this is starting to look? All right, so let's grab that silicone craft sheet. I'm going to flip that over, and I am going to add my adhesive here and here. And remember, we're covering the entire card base for this card. And I'm going to turn that to make it easy for my hand. And then I'm going to line this up the very best that I can. And we'll press that in place. This now is going to go here. Okay, this is making me crazy. Yes, I'm very A-type personality. Do you see how this is hanging out? Anybody off just like by a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch? This is where your scissors come into play. Cut from the inside. If I put this on my trimmer, it never fails. It's never right. But if I take my scissors to it, guaranteed it'll be straight every single time. This now is going to go over the top. So let's go ahead and add our adhesive. You're going to want to make sure you work around that border. I'm not going to work too closely to the edges here that I've curled because I want to make sure they kind of stay curled and roughed up. And I know that I'm going to put it in an envelope, and I know someone is thinking, well, they're not going to stay curled. But yeah, guess what? They will. They'll stay a little bit roughed up. And then this is going to go here. I'm looking to line up my edges the best I can without putting my head inside your camera view. All right, and then we're going to press. Then you can kind of just rough all that up. Okay, fun stuff, huh? Don't you love that? All right, so let's go. Hi, Christine. It's good to have you here. Next thing is let's get busy with decorating this. I decided to take some cardstock, and I'm going to tell you how this works because I've had lots and lots of questions about this. You are going to emboss first, then die cut. And let me show you. This is, my friend, one large die here in the center. There are some individual pieces for the smaller stamps, so don't think this is all you get. When you die cut it, this is what you get. You get this one big image. Now, there's lots of things you can do with this. And just like that last card, not only are you going to get a PDF tutorial for this on April 1st in our team newsletter, you're going to get 3 other cards using this whole bundle. So I've got lots and lots of ideas for you. You need to emboss the cardstock first. Are you with me? You're going to emboss it. It's going to come out all pretty, all bumpy. Then this lines up to the embossed cardstock purposely, and then you are going to put it through your die cutting machine, and you will end up with this embossed. Oh, love it. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, what if I wanted to stamp on there? Well, guess what? That's why the stamps are photopolymer, so that you can see where you're going. So let's talk about that for just a moment. Let's take this large conch shell here, and I am going to just line this up so that you can see it. Because it's photopolymer, you can very easily stamp this on top of your cardstock. You can then die cut it, or you can stamp it, emboss it, then die cut it. Oh, there's so many possibilities. This is so much fun. Don't let all of this intimidate you. There's so many options for this and so many ways you can get texture. And because they're photopolymer, you're not going to have any trouble. You can see exactly where you're going. The one thing about these seashells that I like is that this is very, very forgiving because of the ridges on the outside. So don't think it's got to be exactly perfect. It's going to turn out great, I promise. I've used this on all those other cards I'm going to share with you. You're going to be quite pleased. So that's how this works. That is exactly how I got this. And I did this out of white cardstock. So once I embossed it, I die cut it. I had a whole sheet of this. Guess what I did? I cut them apart. Yep. Cut these apart. You may not think that that's going to look good, but I'm here to tell you. Would you have known if I didn't tell you? All right, so now we're going to make this all pretty. Let me put those off to the side. Now, I wanted to add some color and some texture to this to kind of bring this to life. So I'm going to bring in some sponge daubers. Got my Blushing Bride one here. Let me get my Blushing Bride ink. Of course, your shells can be any color that you want. Here's what I say. It's never wrong if it's yours. So experiment and have fun. Your finger is intended to go inside so you have control. Very much like the blending brushes, when you ink this up, you're going to want to tap off so that you can control the coverage. You don't want it to be too dark or too light. You can always add more ink. Remember that this is embossed. So you are going to work very slowly and you want to pick up the texture of that embossing folder. So I'm going to rub on here just a little bit back and forth. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I want a little bit more ink. So let's go here. Let's add a little bit more. We're going to add that pigmentation right to the center. Do you guys see how it's sticking to the raised emboss areas? So cool. All right, I'm going to switch over now. I'm going to close this up and I'm going to bring in Seaside Spray. I'm really sad that this is getting retired. Yep, it's on the chopping block. Stampin' Up! Does a color refresh about every 5 years. So I'm thinking maybe next year. I don't know if this is going to eventually come back, but this has been a really popular color and I'm going to miss it. But I think the new ink colors will be pretty amazing. Separate dauber. Daubing off. I don't want it to be too dark. Remember, you want to be able to control this. And I'm going to work here around the outside. I'm going to add a little bit of highlights here. Remember, just like when you color with two different color markers, two different colors can create a third tone. So a yellow and a red will make an orange, okay? And a yellow and a blue will make a green. So keep that in mind. That works the same with your daubers. So I'm just going to add a little pigmentation here. All right, so far so good. And then I decided it needed kind of a brownish look to it to be seashells. So let me grab that crumb cake ink pad that we used previously, and I do have a separate dauber for this as well. Now for this, what I did is I did want it just a little bit darker, and I kind of worked around my edges because I wanted to accentuate the frame of the seashell. So I'm coming all around here. I did want it to look kind of old, kind of musty, worn, because it's been in the bottom of the ocean. Add a little color at the bottom. The other way you can do this, I'm going to pick this up and show you, is you can come along the edges with your dauber. This is going to ensure the ink stays only on the edges of the cardstock. This is a great tip if you're doing greetings. You just want a little color accentuation without adding a layer. But if you want color more on the front, you can certainly lay it down, or you can hold it and tip the dauber forward. Do you see how the color's coming forward now? And that's great for embossing because it's going to pick up some highlights and give you some depth to your image. And then let's go over these veins just a little bit here. So we've got a little bit of accentuation on those. Okay, Great, great, great. Brenda says, what? No, one of my favorite colors. Yes, I want you guys to remember something. In colors are only good for a certain period of time. The 5 in colors that are labeled for 2019 through 2021 are on their way out. Retired list, you'll see it probably on March 24th is my best guess. If you want the papers, the ink refills, any of those other things, make sure you order them now because I'm going to tell you, great Lisa tip, I promise you, the second that retired list comes out, those items are going to fly off the shelf. Next thing, we are going to move over to these. This is also part of that die. All I did was cut the pieces apart. I left this one on the Sahara sand so you can see it really, really well. I am going to leave it just like this. But you know what I realized I didn't do? I brought in my little ink pads and I didn't bring in my daubers. But you know what? That's okay because then I get to show you how I store them. Here this is. I bought this on Amazon. The ones on Amazon, you can buy them without the daubers in them because I like our daubers way better. The ones that came with it from Amazon, they all turned yellow. Look, ooh, nasty, nasty. I keep them in alphabetical order. You may think that's a little kind of cray cray, but it's the only way I can ever find them. So I know I need Mossy Meadow. I use a pair of tweezers because I put 2 in here. And I also know I need Pear Pizzazz, which I think should be back here. Yep, there we go. And then I'm just gonna, I love that this locks because I tend to be very, very clumsy. So let's take the Pear Pizzazz now. And with the same type of concept, we're gonna load some ink on here, dab off, and we are going to add some color to our seaweed. Pull. Don't go back and forth because you don't want to rip the die. That's really, really important. So I'm just going to add some color here. I probably should have done this before you guys joined me. I hope you don't mind. I told you it was going to be just like we're stamping together, right? Variegations of color on this are even better because if you see this under the water, that's exactly how it looks. Some areas are going to look darker, some are going to look lighter based on the light. So don't feel like this has to be all consistent. That's one thing I absolutely love about this. Now, when I get over here where these are connected, don't fret. If you get some on here, it's totally fine. I'm going to switch over now to the Mossy Meadow. Where is it? It's here. At least I thought it was here. Okay. I know I took it out. Don't you hate when you take something out and you're like, it's on my desk? What did I do with it? How weird is that? And I put them in alphabetical order. I know why, because I used it on the cactus. There we go. And separate dauber for this one. All right, now watch. This is a super strong ink. Do you guys see that? So you want to be really, really careful because you don't want to add too much if that's not what you're looking for. If it leaks over into the other colors, totally fine, because remember, that's the one thing about these dies. You want to be delicate and not rip them. Do you also see how I'm pouncing versus pulling because of the connection here from the die? So don't be afraid, experiment and have fun. And I'm going to bring this up all the way up into here to make sure I don't lose that really fun accentuated tip there. Going to have to get some of those daubers. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are like a hidden secret in the catalog. All right, let's put this together. Here's the card base. But you know I cannot live without accessories. And one of my favorite accessories is ribbon, of course, next to all the bling. This is the braided trim. It's a natural. I think this is overlooked in the catalog. I want to show you something. Watch. Did you know that you can expand this? Look what happens. This looks a little bit more like netting, doesn't it? Comes like old-fashioned, kind of worn, under the water kind of netting. And I thought, you know what? We are going to rough this up. Don't be afraid to stretch it. Don't worry if it falls apart. The more rugged, the better. I decided to do this pretty much most of the way around. Of course, the areas to the back are really not going to show. I'm just using my fingers. It pulls apart very, very easily. Hey, you guys with me? And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing now on this side. I'm just going to stretch it. This is a great tip for you and another way for you to use your accessories. This is going to go in the center of my card. I am going to leave it roughed up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it here. I am going to cheat. I'm opening up my drawer. Oh, where's my Scotch tape? Scotch tape. Remember, that shell is large. It's going to hide all those areas. Let's tape it down. Otherwise, let's face it, we would need like 5 or 6 glue dots, right? Who wants to be bothered? Let's work from the back forward. So we've got our seaweed here. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little adhesive here to tack this down. Just going to make sure it stays within the perimeter of my card. This then is going to be our seashell. Do you see how I'm working this here? I'm going to flip this over and we are going to add some dimensionals to the back side. Oh, I saw, wow. Oh my gosh, you just made my day. Like I said, I always think you guys are going to be like, oh, that was lame. You love the look of the seashell. And look at, did we do any stamping yet? We haven't even done any stamping yet. This is the versatility of the suite. You have so many options. All right, I'm going to add my shell kind of like this. Everything is tacked down. If this is worrying you, I'm going to teach you a little bit of card surgery. Take your glue dots, take your pick tool with the paper piercing tool attachment, ball these little guys up, and then you're just going to tuck it in an inconspicuous area and you are going to pull, and that's going to tack that down. Don't worry about trying to get glue and adhesive everywhere if it's going to be too cumbersome for you while you're putting your card together. It's too much work. This is supposed to be fun, right? And you know me, you know how much I love liquid glue. So I'm not even bothering with that. I use my little glue dot trick all the time. There we go. Isn't that slick? All right, we're not done. We got to add our greeting. I stamped that before you joined me. And yes, this came from the stamp set. It's right there. So there's a lot of words in here. And I'm going to go ahead and add this with mini dimensionals. So you're going to see that that's really tiny. And again, my take your pick tool is my best friend. So I'm going to put 1, 2, and I am going to use 3. I'm a big fan of making sure that everything is nice and balanced. I hate wobbly cards. My mom is a recipient of a lot of my cards, and she's also become a really good critic. And she's like, oh, honey, you need more of those puffy things. No, she does not stamp. She has no clue what the name of anything is. And I'm going to put that, I think I'm going to overlap it a little bit on this one. And I'll put that here. Nope, we're not done yet. I wanted to bring in the opal rounds, and it looks like I pulled out the wrong ones. I am so glad I'm with you guys tonight. I know we don't sell these anymore. Those are those wide stamp cases, but this is where I keep my embellishments. I have ones for the neutrals and then one for the colored. These opal rounds are fantastic with this suite of products. If you're going to buy this, don't miss these, okay? So I'm going to take one of the larger ones. They have glue dots already on the back, and I'm going to add that here. And then I'm going to take the smaller one because they're in 2 sizes here. Hold on, making sure it sticks to my tool. And let's go up here. I like to form a triangle because it's very, very pleasing to the eye. And let's bring this one all the way down here to bring some emphasis to that greeting. There you go. What do you think? Do you guys like it? Very simple. This is the only thing that was stamped. Such a fun suite of products. I want you to take a second look at it, even if you say to me, I'm not a seashell girl. The great thing about this is it's great for masculine cards, feminine cards, and can be used for any occasion whatsoever, everything from birthday to sympathy. So keep your eye on that. All right, let me turn the camera around. Let's do some more prize patrol. Okay, now I can see your comments. I'm throwing all this. You should see my desk. It is a mess. Oh, you love the card. Fabulous. Oh, good, good, good. Awesome. So hopefully you learned some things, even if you're not into the seashells. Hopefully you learned about how to chop up the dies, the process of the embossing folder with the die, the stamps with the die, all the dauber use, of course, coloring embossed images, how to stretch that little braided trim and make it look a little bit differently. Lots and lots of tips there for you. And again, if you don't like it, look at the colors and look at the layout and encompass that into your own stamp sets, okay? I have got the prize tin here. Michelle Martin, I didn't see you jump in. Hi, how are you? All right, Cindy King says, you are so artistic with your designs. You love both cards. Well, Cindy, that's because you haven't seen my trash can. Trust me, I emptied it this morning and it's halfway full. It's not always pretty here. I make mistakes like the rest of you. All right, got the prize tin. Let's go ahead and let's see what we got to give away. I've got a stamp set. It's called Happiest of Birthdays. Shaking you guys up, and let's pull a winner for this stamp set. And the name is Jeanette Padilla. Congratulations to you, Jeanette. You are one of our winners. She's getting the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. The next prize is the 2020-2022 Designer Series papers and the coordinating enamel dots. And that is going to, I'm mixing you guys up, and that is going to, hold on, Doreen Rikerson. Yay, Doreen, you're a winner. It's so fun to mail out prizes. I love it. All right, next, what do we got here? Oh, got one of those sleeper dies that some of you probably don't even have. This is the Stitched with Whimsy dies. Love them. All right, let's see who this is going to. This prize is going to Patricia Rockwell. Congratulations to you, Patricia. You are a winner. She's getting some brand new dies. Again, if you are just joining us, please remember what I told you earlier. This is a gift. You may not return it. You may not exchange it. I love you. If you don't want it, pay it forward to a friend or donate to a worthy cause. This is the Meadow Moments embossing folder duos. There's a package of glue dots in here, the black matte dots, the black dimensionals, and a black Stampin' Right marker. And this is going to, let's see what we got here. Geraldine Messerall. I want to say that's how you say it. Geraldine, congratulations. You are the winner. Okay, I'm going to put this on here. I can hear my husband giggling at me. Yep, party of one, right? All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and do another. This has the painted texture embossing folder, the gold fine art ribbon, which by the way is stunning, gold glitter enamel dots, and it's a retired product, but I loved it so much I scooped them up from the clearance rack. It's the Bird Ballad trinkets. Oh, be still my heart. Okay, so I threw those in there for you. This is going to Rosemary Thomas. Congratulations, Rosemary. You're a winner. All righty. She's all taped up and ready to go for the mailbox as well. I think I have 5 left for the last round, which is always very exciting. This is the part of our inspiration night that I give you the 411 on what you need to know. All right. So I've got my little notes here on my little thing on the wall. Let me just go over it to make sure we don't miss anything. Very important. Turn your ears on. The new annual catalog. Yes, it's on its way out. The new one comes out on May 4th. Mark your calendars for March 24th. You're going to be able to see the brand new one in a color PDF format on the demonstrator website. You're probably going to say, oh, yeah, I posted it on our team page. It's actually pinned to the top with all the appropriate dates. But in case you're not on Facebook, March 24th, you're going to want to set yourself a timer and you're going to want to click on catalogs. Happening now, catalogs, and then just scroll and the PDF will be there. I'm going to tell you to put your patience hat on that day because there will be almost 60,000 demonstrators all trying to buy and download the PDF tutorial to see this brand new catalog. So be patient. Go ahead and click it and download. Oh, it's going to take some time. Make yourself your coffee, your breakfast, take your shower, come back. It'll be all downloaded for you. And then you can scroll through there and begin to make your wish list. Oh, squeal, does it get any better? I am going to tell you, I think it's going to be pretty amazing. I think you'll agree with me that these last 2 publications have been over the top with something for everyone. I mean, we've got outdoorsy things, we've got things with desert things, we've got flowers. I mean, we've got all kinds of wonderful things, and I'm expecting more of the same in that brand new annual catalog. I am expecting, and I do not know this, but I'm expecting, since the new catalog will be in a PDF format for us to see on March 24th, that the retired list will also be available that day. Please keep in mind the retired list will be comprised only of the annual catalog because this one right here, this mini catalog is good until June 30th. So these dates do not coincide with each other on purpose. So a new mini catalog will come out on July 1st. So nothing's going to happen with this, but all the retired products from this will more than likely be listed for you as well. For those of you, this is your first go around with Stampin' Up! And a catalog change, I'm just going to tell you right now, buckle up. Because when things hit the retired list, it's like what I call 7 women with a lot of money that they must spend in an hour around a sale rack at the most ritzy department store. Yeah, things fly off the shelves. Retired accessories, first come, first serve. So if you want something in there that's being retired and it's an accessory like an ink refill, a marker, designer series papers, embellishments, you want to shop the day the retired list comes out. I am not going to be responsible for me not having told you that, okay? When can we do that? That, Kathy, is going to be available for you when the retired list is published. And my best intuition is going to be it's going to be March 24th. Wouldn't that make sense that they would tell you what's on the retired list the day the new catalog debuts for demonstrators? I'm kind of thinking so because we're going to be able to look through the new publication and go, well, this is not in there. That's not in there. It must be retired. So to me, that just makes sense. I don't have confirmation of that, but to me, that just makes perfect sense. And again, I'm going through almost 23 years of how things have happened in the past. And I can bet that in the next week or so, we're going to get a weekly update about that, giving us those dates to finalize that. So if you're in our team Facebook page, so make sure you just keep checking there for more information. I do my very best to keep you informed, but it's your responsibility to log into the demonstrator website and scroll down to the current updates and see what's happening. Everything's posted there for you. All right, so those are the most important things that I wanted you to know about the new catalog. I am so excited. Get your money saved up, get your pencil sharpened. You're going to need it. I'm looking at comments. When will we be able to pre-order? Donna, that is an excellent question. And I believe that the pre-order begins on April 1st. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going by memory. I have to go look. If you go to our Hawaii Inc. Facebook page, I pinned it at the very, very top. There's a GIF with a girl who's all excited. And if you click on it, it opens and expands with all the dates and all that information is there. Please, please print that, post that so that you're in the know. Okay. All right. Looking through my list, I want to make sure you also know about Customer Selector. You're very welcome, Kathy. Customer Selector. Those of you that are new are probably going, what is that? Customer Selector is where you can actually go in and you can create a database of people you want to mail the catalog to. Stampin' Up! Allows you to use their mailing program, which is at a reduced price, to send the catalog to those people. You still got to pay for it, okay? The annual catalog will ship through Stampin' Up! For $4.50. So let's do the math here. Yes, April 1st is the first day. Thank you, Megan. You're so sweet, Megan. It's supposed to be your night off, friend. So just so that you were aware, if you were to buy these, they come out to like $5 a piece. Then you got to put it in an envelope and they got to go priority mail because of the weight. These do not qualify for media or bound mail. I have tried. The post office has sent them back to me. That's embarrassing. Don't try it. They do not qualify. Media mail is like books, educational books. It does not qualify for catalogs with sale products. So do yourself a favor. If you have customers that you know you want to get a catalog in their hand, add them to Customer Manager and then choose them on Customer Selector. You have to make those selections before the last day of March. That's the cutoff period. I'm listening to all the envelopes fall. Okay. It's not work. You got it in your head. Yeah, she's like a file cabinet brain. I love you, Megan. All right. So that's a little bit about Customer Selector. If you need to read about it, go over to the demonstrator website. There's a ton of information there for you. If you go to Happening Now catalogs, and I think it says catalog details is where all that information is there. Megan's ready to shop. Yeah, Eileen, it sure looks that way, doesn't it? All right, next thing you need to know is about the butterfly bouquet promotion. All right, Diana says, or Deanna, I'm sorry, afraid to look at the new catalog, running out of room in my craft shelves. Oh, Deanna, do what I do. Get rid of the old stuff. I sell it, donate it, get rid of it, make room for the new stuff. That's what we want. So the butterfly bouquet promotion, which you should all know about right now, is in full effect. I want you to be sure that you understand that the designer series papers are exclusive only during this promotion. They will not be in the new catalog. This is a huge squeal. If you like this bundle, don't miss getting this paper. I do like this, but it's thin, so you're not going to want to emboss it. You can die cut it, but this paper, oh, amazing. So you can get the bundle and the stamps in the new catalog that's coming out on May 4th, but not the designer series papers. So you can buy the whole shebang, or you can buy bits and pieces of what you want here. This is only good until the 3rd of March, or 3rd of May, I'm sorry, when the new catalog debuts. And then, of course, the papers are bye-bye. All right. The other thing I want to make sure that you know about is the Hey Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick promotion. Yeah, those are exclusive as well. Those dies are not going to be available, so make sure that you scoop those up. We've talked about this before. I'm not going to go over it again. And the brand new Paper Pumpkin was just unveiled today, and this is going to be for the month of April. It is so cool, and the kit is called Savor the Flavor. And I think you can kind of get, it's got a cute little popsicle thing. Stampin' Up! Has an actual little video that kind of shows you. It's a popsicle shaped ice cream card with a little stick. You get 12 of them, and you're going to be able to stamp and decorate them. Super, super cute. If you have not subscribed to Paper Pumpkin, I'm going to tell you right now, it is a deal. It is $22 a month. You will earn your 20% commission on the actual price of the Paper Pumpkin kit, which I think is $16 if I'm not mistaken. You get exclusive stamps in the kit every single month that you never get. You get a different ink spot color. So an ink spot's just a little small square, great for your stamp apparatus, great for traveling, great for the grandkids, so they don't have to use your big good ones, right? Love Paper Pumpkin. It's a value. Every month is a little bit of a surprise of what's in store in the box, but I have really enjoyed the kits because you can't beat the value. It's a great way to build up colors and try new colors you don't have, and a great way to build up your stamp inventory. And those are all photopolymer stamps. $22 a month. Choose yourself as the demonstrator if you sign up. You can do that at paperpumpkin.com. The last day to subscribe to the April kit is going to be April 10th. So you want to make sure that you sign up before then. All right. I think that you're in the know about pretty much everything. We're going to do our final prize patrol. I also want to give you a loving reminder that if you need to reach me, the best way to reach me is how? It's email. It's Lisa at lisasstampstudio.com. Phone calls, Facebook messages, Facebook posts, can't keep up with them, friends. I love you all. Just really, really have a tough time. And Facebook jail is a real thing. If I comment too much, Facebook views that as spam and then they block me, which we call Facebook jail. And it kind of puts you in a timeout for anywhere from 1 to 3 days. Ask Marion Lenhart about that. That recently happened to her. And they'll warn you. So please know it's not that I don't want to be interactive. I have to be very, very careful so I don't lose my Facebook privileges. So the best way for you to communicate with me is through email, please. So I would love to hear from you if you've got questions or concerns. Our next inspiration night is going to be, mark your calendar, it is going to fall on Thursday, April 8th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The link is always different. So be watching your inbox or your spam folder, depending if I'm in your address book, so that you get the proper link for the April inspiration night. So how about that we give away these 5 last prizes, okay? Here is the tin. Going to open you guys up. And let's see what we got here. This package has the ornate floral embossing folders, the blushing bride metallic ribbon, the antiqued corners and slides, and the artistry blooms adhesive backed sequins. Could they make these words any longer? Okay, let's see who this is going to. This is going to Helen Bartel. Congratulations to you, Helen. You are the winner. All right, let me tape Helen onto her prize. There we go. And that's going to be off in the mail to her tomorrow. Next one is a stamp set, and it's called Here's a Card. And it's one of my favorite greeting stamp sets. And I'm happy to share this with the winner, who is Wanda Nieves. Congratulations. Oh, Helen, you're here. Oh, you're so welcome. Wanda, you're a winner as well. Oh, it's so fun when you guys are here with us live. Wanda, if you've been commenting, I missed it. Congratulations to you. I'm so excited for you. It's always extra special when they're here, isn't it? All right, here we go. We got another one. This is also a stamp set. April 8th is on tour. Yes, Christine, if you've registered, April 8th. This stamp set is called So Sentimental, also another one of my favorites. You can never have too many greeting stamp sets in my book. And this one is going to Hillary Allen. Congratulations to you, Hillary. You are the winner. And I got that all set up for Hillary, ready for her to go. And we got more. Hold on, we got a couple more. This one is a stamp set as well. It's called Many Mates. If you haven't noticed, I buy you my favorite greeting sets and then I give them away. Another one of my favorites, Many Mates. And this one is going to Jennifer Abadi. Congratulations to you, Jennifer. You are the winner of Many Mates. Okay, and then we've got our last prize. And then let me just say goodbye before you guys all leave. This is the subtle embossing folder, stays on cleaner, and the basic white assorted cards and envelopes. Love that. Cut, scored, ready to go. Envelopes with it, different sizes. You're going to love that. And the last name I have today is Gloria Pate. Congratulations to you, Gloria. You are the winner of this nice big final package that I will get in the mail to you tomorrow. Congratulations to you. Friends, before you go, please know that Hawaii Inc. is comprised of over 400 demonstrators on our team, and it takes every single one of you to make it a team. This is not about me, it's about you. Know that I love and appreciate you. I am here for you if you've got questions, concerns. Go to your team leader. If I'm not your direct team leader and perhaps you signed up underneath someone else, go to them. They want to be able to help you. Use our Facebook page, the Hawaii Inc. Team Facebook page. Ask your questions there. Keep sharing your inspiration. I love what you guys do. I'm inspired by your color combinations, your layouts. I love when you see things that I've created and you recreate them because you come up 10 times better ideas sometimes than I originally did. Remember my trash can, right? We are a team because of each of you, and I'm grateful for every single one of you. Stay well, and I look forward to seeing you back for our private team inspiration night on Thursday. I almost said Monday, Thursday, April 8th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.